What's good, YouTube? As you just see by the other video I just posted, was called Discipline and Consistency, and this one is called Pick Your Difficulty. And this one is a quick video too of just showing that like life is hard. So it's one of those situations, like everybody's heard that like it's hard being broke, and it's hard living that broke life and struggle life. It's hard, you know, if you don't have a house, I bet you that's a hard life. If you don't have a car, if you don't have food to eat, if you don't have money, it's hard. That's a difficult life. But then also too, having a Bugatti, having a mansion, having a business, having this, owner of some multi-business is hard too. That's not no easy cakewalk. That's a hard life too. But it also brings a lot of benefits. And the reason why I say pick your difficulty, like people have heard before, is one of those things is like, do you want to live a hard life of being broke, or do you want to live a hard life of being wealthy and able to, you know, do well? And it doesn't even have to be like rich or poor. It can be middle class too. It's still difficult being middle class because you have to put in the work to do that. And it's one of those things that's like, my fault, my alarm rang. But you can sit here and complain about the struggles of being broke, and then later, but there's also struggles of being rich too. Like, this is not no easy cakewalk, and we all have to put in the work. And that's the same thing I was thinking too. I was like, man, it's hard, like on the spiritual level, even more. Like, it's hard living right for God. It's like for me personally, I'm like, man, there's a lot of valid women out there, but I'm like, you know, it's hard if you was to mess with a lot of women, let's say have sex before marriage, doing all that craziness, and then later it's like, that's a hard life living too, because at the end of the day, you're not right with God. And then later, God forbid, diseases, all that other stuff happen. But like, I'm talking spiritual, like you're not right with God. That's a hard life to live too, to know you're not right with the creator of God, that if you was to die at any moment, you know you're going to hell for eternity. I don't want to be in that situation. But then it's also hard being a Christian too, because it's one of those, it's like, you have to deny your flesh. And God's giving you the tools to do that, but you have to consistently deny your flesh. You have to abstain from worldly things and what people consider cool in this world. And you may get made fun of for being a Christian. You may have people cut you off because you're a Christian. And that may suck, because it could be family, friends, anyone. But that's a hard life too to walk. But at the end of the day, and also too, you got the enemy attacking you. You know, the enemy putting things in your life so you can get thrown off course. That's a hard life too. But I'd rather go through that hard life because I'm right with Jesus Christ. So it's like, it could be a hard life spiritually living in sin, and it could be a hard life living right with God. At the end of the day, it's going to be a hard walk. And at the end of the day, you have to pick your difficulty. So it's like, do you want to have a difficult life living in sin and being in the wrong, how do I say it? Being in bad terms with God, having no relationship with him? Or would you rather have a relationship with God and then go through the difficulties and being on God's side, because you know the world's going to hate you, people are going to do this, the enemy's going to attack, all that. And then, like I said, even on the physical side, do you want to live a hard life of being broke, struggling on the street? Or do you want to be a person that's able to have a family, like, and help their family be there, afford this, afford that, can go on vacation, do this, that, and the third? All this is hard, but you have to just pick your difficulty. And it's one of those situations too, like, you know, I was saying this to my pops, I was like, you know, it's difficult being out of shape. And then later I said, but it's also difficult being in shape. And it's like, you know, you gotta pick your difficulty. Like, would you rather just live a fat life? No disrespect to people out there who are fat, but like, I'm just saying, like, would you rather live a fat life and just be like, oh, I'm tired, I can't run this long, or I can't really move how I want to move, or I can't fit these clothes, or oh, blood pressure high, diabetes, this and that and the third? Or would you rather be fit and look good and be happy about it? But you know, it's also hard too, because you're like, man, I can't eat that cake, or I can't eat that type of food like I want to, or man, I don't feel like going to the gym right now, but I got to, or da-da-da-da. It's still difficult no matter which way you go through. Physical, spiritual, mental, everything. You have to decide and pick your difficulty. Now, let me put you on a little secret, which is no secret. Get fit. First and foremost, get right with God. That's the main thing. Get right with God. Stay right with him. That life is difficult, but it's worth it. And it's difficult being fit, but it's worth it too. So you see where to go, but you see how each life is not just easy cakewalk. No, it's difficult. Like when Jesus had to carry the cross up the mountain to where he got crucified. You think that was just easy, like carrying the cross? No, that was a hard walk. But guess what? He did it. And it was worth it. And look what he did for us. Same thing we gotta do. Pick up your cross and walk. So I love y'all. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.
Writing songs just like David, this my new songs put the spirit in. Let's go. I don't cross my heart, I'ma move far than I ever been. God gave me words when I couldn't word, let go my mistakes. Yeah.